Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a normal GFX tutorial with using a rig and a room model. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I want to start this tutorial, I just want to mention you have to have either MacBook or Windows laptop. This is only because you can only get Blender on those laptops. Anyways, let's hop into this tutorial. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is head onto your Roblox homepage and go to the top where it says create. Then it should load something like this. You might not have experiences yet, which is okay. You can just click create new experience and it should take you right to Roblox Studio. If this is not the case, go to your search bar and search roblox.com/create, and then you can just enter that onto your search bar. A quick reminder, when you're making a GFX in Roblox Studio, if you've never used it before, you might have to log in, but after that, then it should be okay. So once you've entered it in your keyboard, it should look something like this, and you can just click start creating. Now it might look something like this when you first open it, and if you don't even have it downloaded, you might have to download it. But if you're not, then it should open up to a page that looks something like this. What you're going to want to do is click on the classic base plate, and it's just right at the top beside the base plate. You can just go ahead and click on that, and then it should open up to this page that looks something like this. If you don't have the Explorer or Toolbox, you can just go to the top where it says Toolbox, and then it should open up Toolbox and stuff. So first what you're going to want to do, if you don't have this done already, is go down to where it says Model on the very side. And right now I'm just showing you how to open up the Explorer if you don't have it. But anyways, you should download this low character plugin. So just go to models and change it to plugins on your toolbox section. And it should pop up right away, but if not, then just search in low character plugin. There is a paid one or a free one. Just choose the free one. It's the exact same thing and it's what everyone uses. Mine says installed, but yours might say download or install. Then you can just click on that. Now you should have this plugin downloaded. So you can just go to plugins on the top and click on it. Then import your character username or the Roblox user you want for your GFX. I'm going to be doing myself. Then spawn R6 because we're using a rig. If you want to do a non-rig tutorial, then spawn R15. Then you can just exit out of that little tab with your low character on it. The controls for Roblox Studio, by the way, are the exact same as Roblox. It's just WASD to move, and just with your cursor or your mouse, you can just move the screen. So you're just going to want to position your screen where you want kind of to see the best of your character. And now I'm going to change the face. If you don't want to change your face, you can skip this part. But yeah, so I'm just going to go on the side where it has the Explorer tab, and I'm going to go to my character and that arrow beside it. I'm going to click on it and scroll down to where I find head, and I'm going to click the arrow beside head. Then I'm going to go down to the decal that says face, and then I'm going to click on it, and then just backspace on my keyboard to delete the face. To change a face, go to the plugins and change it to images, and just search the kind of face you want. I'm going to be doing the super happy face, but you can do any face that suits you. Also, make sure that it's a clear background. Some might have a white background and you don't want that. It's going to make your face white. You want it to look like mine. Once you're done, just go back to where it has your character user, and you can click on that. Then you're going to right click on the username, go down to where it says export selection, and then you can just save it to wherever you want. I'm just going to save mine to my downloads. Then you can name it whatever you want, and then once you're done, you can just click save. Anyways, now that I'm done that, by the way, it might take a bit to save, but no longer than a minute. So you can just delete your character. Now it's time to find a room model. To import a room model, change images to models, and you can just search a model that you like. To import a model creator, go to those 3 lines and just type in their user. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and find a model. Okay, so I think I like this one here. So to save your model, just go to where the side is and where it says model, And you're just going to, of course, right click on it again like we did with your character. And then just go all the way down again and it should say export selection. I'm just going to save this to my downloads as well, but if you have a specific file, that works. And then I can just name the model what I like and then click save. For your model, it might take a bit longer to export into your downloads depending on how big the model is. So yeah, you might have to be a bit patient, but don't worry, it shouldn't take a really long time. So now that mine is done, I can just exit out of Roblox Studio, and for this I just click no. Now we're going to teach you how to use a rig and download Blender. To download Blender, just search Blender 2.79 because that's the Blender we're going to be using. Then click on the first link that says 2.79blender.org. It should bring you to a page that looks something like this. Click Download Blender Old. Then it should bring you to a page that looks something like this. If you're a Windows user, choose MSI. If you're a Mac user, choose DMG. And then you can just click on that link to download it. I'm not going to do it because I already have Blender installed, but you get the idea. So yeah, it doesn't really matter the one that you choose. I just choose the one that's under the Mac DMG because I am a Windows user. To download a rig, you can just search Women Rig. And then it's kind of hard for me to find it usually. So what I recommend doing is going on to a tutorial because they usually have the rig linked in the description. And this tutorial does right here. So you can just click on that link. And then it should bring you to a page that looks something like this. Don't mind my background, I just have a custom background for websites. But anyways, it looks something like this, and then you can just click download. There are some tutorials on how to download those if you are really having trouble. Anyways, once you're done, you're going to want to open up Blender. It should look something like this. You can just click anywhere on the side of the screen to get rid of this little box. Then you're going to delete the cube by clicking X and then delete. And then change Blender Render to Cycles Render. And then basically I'm going to be teaching you guys all of the controls. So to move, you hold Shift and F or Control and F, whatever one. And then you're going to look something like this, and this is how to move your camera around. To stop it at a position you like, you either double click or left click if you're on a mouse. So yeah, that's basically how it is, and to move around is WASD just like in Roblox. Anyways, to delete something it's just X and then delete. Of course select what you want to delete. And then if you want to select multiple things, just hold down Shift and select all the things that you want to delete. And if you want to select a whole thing, then just click B and then just do what I did and just drag over everything you want to select if you want to select a bigger property. So yeah, that's basically it. To select things, you can just click on them. But like I said, if you want to select multiple little things at once, just click on one thing, then hold down Shift and click all the other little things you want to select. Anyways, now it's time to import our rig. You're going to go to the top where it says File, then Open. And then your rig should be saved wherever you saved it. And you can just import it. It should look something like this. So now I'm just going to go ahead and delete the head because you do not need it. So I'm just going to select B and select the head, X and delete. Now I'm going to click on the body and make sure that you selected the whole body. And now you're going to go to the top, kind of where my mouse is if you can see. It's kind of in the corner by that little roller thingy. And then your mouse should turn to like a plus sign. And then you can just drag down that little plus sign and it should create two little windows. Now you're going to click the cube on the bottom, not the top cube, the kind of middle cube. And you're going to select Node Editor. Now you're going to import your file texture or character texture. There's a top image texture and a bottom one. You're going to want to choose the bottom one because I already messed up on my first tutorial or first time making a GFX using the top one. And yeah, so it should look something like this between mapping and mixed color. You're going to click on the file and then you're going to import your character texture to wherever you saved it. I saved mine to my download and then it should just have your character name on it. If you have multiple, choose the bottom one. Then click Open Image. Now your character texture is in. Now you can just go ahead and drag it up so it's just one thing. Now it's time to import your head. So you're going to want to go to File, Import, and then wait. Then you're going to want to go to where you saved it again, and then it should be called whatever you named it. OBJ, not the MTL. And then you can just click import OBJ at the very top. If you're wondering what the MTL is, it's not like a character, it's like a picture. Mine always comes up like this, but yours should be leveled on the ground with your character. So you're just gonna want to turn it around. If it's up like mine, drag it down. And then you can just delete all the body parts. So you can just select one, hold down shift, and then select the others and delete it. Now you're gonna select your head and drag it onto your character or avatar. And it's as simple as that. Using a rig just takes a minute longer or a few seconds longer once you get a hang of it, but it makes your GFXs look so amazing. So now it's time to import your model. I just select my whole character by, selecting B and selecting the character, and I just drag it to the side while I import my model. Everyone does it differently. To import your model, go to File, Import Wavefront OBJ, and then you can import your model. Of course, I save mine in downloads. I have a ton of things saved in my download. And just find whatever you named it. So just select the OBJ version, and then select Import OBJ. Keep in mind your model is going to take the longer to import, the bigger the MIB is. The lower the MIB is, the lower or the less detailed the model will be. So, aka the less time it will take to import and render. I don't think you guys are going to want to watch this process, so I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so now that that's in, I'm just going to drag my model to this grid. This rarely ever happens where it doesn't show up really close, but the times that it does, I just have to drag it onto the grid. It's not a huge hassle. And then it should look like this. Now you can start posing your GFX and character. You're basically almost done. Can you believe it? Now, of course, it's not going to look the greatest when you're posing it, but I'll show you how to see how it looks when you're almost done. So anyways, basically to pose, you're going to want to click on the square things that's around your body parts. Don't click on the body parts itself, or that will just be like not using a rig. Just click on the little square things. Anyways, after I'm done posing, I'll come back to you guys. And if you want to watch me, then you can. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I'm done posing. So when I'm done, I'm just going to drag it onto my model. If you want, you can import your character or pose it while it's on the model. I just do it for when it's off for some reason. I don't know why. And then now you can just make the final adjustments. Sometimes I like to size my character down if the model is a bit smaller. To do this, you just click S, and then you just kind of drag your mouse to where you want the character to be sized. So yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that. If you're wondering what I'm doing now, I'm just making some final adjustments. And here I am sizing it. So yeah, now we're basically done your GFX. See, it wasn't that hard. So anyways, now that I'm basically done the posing, now it's time to add in the lighting, the camera, and see how it looks rendered, then render it. And don't worry, I'll be showing you guys all my tips on cameras, how to denoise it, lighting, good lighting, stuff like that. Little tip is, don't use the lamps that they give you. Don't worry, I'll show you a better way. So to add in your camera, you're going to go and switch it to object mode, go to add, and then camera. Now go to view and camera, and your camera's going to be this size. Now you probably don't want it because it's going to look a little bit weird in the GFX. So I'm going to show you how to resize it. Go to the side and then this camera icon, go to resolution, and I usually just change the top one to 1000. If you want, I recommend 1000 by 1000 or 2000 by 2000 for better quality. Then do Shift and F and move the camera to where you want to be posed. And also to rotate it, just click R and then just rotate it however you want. So yeah, now I'm kind of done with the camera. The camera is probably my favorite part because it's the easiest. Yes, I'm very lazy. Now to add in your lighting, go to that world icon and click ambient occlusion. If you want a model, then you can go to use nodes,
environment texture, and then just add in a HDRI, did I say model? Also, to see how it looks rendered, go down beside object mode and then just click render like how I did a few seconds ago. You won't get the full idea, but you'll kind of get a sort of idea of how it looks if you want to make some adjustments. And that little gray thing underneath use nodes, there should be a dot, and that's when you click environment texture. And then you can import your HDRI. Sometimes I don't use an HDRI, but I just like to test it out. Here I'm not going to be using an HDRI, so I'm just going to be switching the color of my background. I usually kind of do a pastel pink or a light red, the same thing. Alright, so now we're almost done. Now what you're going to do is go to the beside the camera icon and just check the noising. Then you can go to render and render image. Render's at the top, by the way. Sorry, I cannot give you a full example of that. My screen recording kind of cut off after that. But anyways, here's the finished GFX, and yeah. I hope that this tutorial helped you guys out, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next Sunday for a new video. Bye guys!